welcome to the Book Over, a little book club where we talk about books, especially ones that give us book hangovers. I'm Sarah, and with me is Megan.
Hello.
And today we are talking about Dirty Truths, book 2 of The Boys of Balrose. Is it The Boys or just Boys of?
Is it the boys? You feel like you want to say the boys, but I think it's Boys of Belrose.
Yeah, Boys of Balrose. Yeah, okay.
The Boys of Belrose. I think it's Boys of Belrose by Tate and Jaymin.
Yes, thank you. Forgot that part. I was heartbroken at the beginning of this book. It
Oh
was
yeah, it was. And I think like we jinxed it. We're like, well, maybe not. I guess I just thought in my head, I'm picturing it like, Flo tells Jace, so they're gonna all be like searching for her. And it turns out that that's not the case. Only
no.
Grayson.
Right? Yeah. And
Hmm.
okay, I love Grayson. I love him
I love Grayson, yes.
so much. Oh my gosh. I think this book really hit that for me. Like Grayson is always going to be top notch for me. Like he's just, oh, I love him.
Yeah.
But I thought even Jace, so at the beginning, like the way Jace was acting and the way that Rhett was acting, like it just killed
Hmm.
me that they were like, I don't even know what I don't want to call it giving up, but just like they were totally being rock
Defeated.
stars to it and
And
like
yeah,
going
like
down
leaning into it.
a really bad path over this. And it was, and then even her, like Billy and what she was
Yeah. Oh,
dealing
she was
with.
like so depressed.
And I was
Like,
had high hopes
I
for Angel to be like, I love you or something, like right off the bat.
And no, they had
No.
me questioning Angel. And I
Hmm.
think that's what they wanted because I think we all thought, oh no, Angel's a good guy. What he said to her in like the chapter 2 when he's like petting her head when she passed out. Like, so we're thinking Angel's this good guy. And it's like, no, we're going to test you and make you wonder, wait, is Angel not going to be in the harem? Like, yeah. Um, and then the marriage thing too, the fact that it gets explained, but like they really rock you with that.
Yo, I was so when I read that he got married and was with her still, and I was just like, wait, it made me really
Yeah.
question him and what happened. I was like, what happened to lead to this?
Hmm.
And then that they, well, I loved when we finally found out stuff about it though, because at first I'm
Me
like,
too.
okay, they're friends. They're not like romantically involved, even though they're like, I love
Hmm.
you. You know, they're very much that perfect friendship.
Yeah.
But it was hard. That was hard for me. But it was really hard for me to see Jason Rhett acting the way that they were acting.
I know,
Really hard.
especially Rhett, I feel like because I felt like if anyone was going to trust like Billy to be like kidnapped, and it sounds like he did at first, but that video convinced him.
Mm.
I thought it would be Rhett, but I think for him, what we learned is that he has a lot of demons and like the stuff that they alluded to of his past, like even in the first book, that he has like a thing with like people in trouble and I think females in trouble. So I think that like we get to see his demons, like he doesn't sleep. So he like kind of lean into that other side of him, like the side of what happens without Billy when he just doesn't trust
Yeah.
that, he could have it that good.
Mhm.
And then Jace, of course, is like, yeah, I told you, because it's Jace.
Yeah, but I did like Jace when he got back from like his whole thing and then he was taking care of Rhett and he's like, okay, it's time to stop.
Yeah,
Like I
he's a
like
good
that all of a sudden
friend.
he was like taking care of him. I'm like, okay, that's awesome. I had a really hard time with Jace this book too.
I'm the opposite.
I
I
know. And you
fell for him
explained
this
it to
book.
me, and I feel like you need to explain it to everybody. And I don't know if we're there
Yes.
yet in the conversation, but like
Hmm.
Megan, later you'll hear it. She had a really good reasoning, and I actually it totally made me jump more onto the Jace is okay thing once she explained it to me. It's just like my initial feelings were like, no. But I have so many mixed feelings about Angel too, because even
Hmm.
when all the things he did, but then when they get to that ranch house, it's a ranch house, right? Farmhouse, ranch house.
Yeah, it's like a farmhouse. I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
farmhouse, ranch house where they're
yeah,
recording, which I do really like the plot, the way the plot goes there. Like once we get
mhm,
there, I'm really well.
yeah,
I liked the getting a look at Angel's world
mhm.
and that subplot and them dealing with being a band and without her. But when they all kind of come together, things really get interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I liked them there. I liked all of that, and I liked
Yeah.
I mean, I felt really bad for everybody with her being like pregnant, seeing her,
Oh
and all the
yeah.
questions and everything. But Angel, again, so many different questions on him because one minute he's like rough with her, like hurting her
Hmm.
wrist, to falling into the fire because Jace punched him, to it's okay, I'm okay to her. Like, it's like the signals are,
It's like his
it's like,
inner
dude.
battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the king of mixed signals. I think he's
Yes.
having this inner battle where he's doing it to protect her. I mean, he's saying, "Oh yeah, it helps me too," but really he's doing it I think in his mind to protect her,
Mhm.
but he's also saying to himself like I can't have her or he's trying to keep her at arm's length it feels like. So it's definitely I feel like he's conflicted, which is coming out,
Yeah, I
but
agree.
it definitely has you like questioning until like the ending, and then at the end you're kind of like okay yes he is in it. It just like it took you a minute, and I would have been okay. I think I would have been cool with if they were like, you know what, like we're just gonna work Angel's gonna be like a character but he's not gonna be part of the harem. I think I would have been cool with that. I would have been like okay that's an interesting, I didn't expect that. It's surprising but I'm glad he is. I'm no I'm glad he is.
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad he
definitely
is.
want some in there. I just, you know what I'm curious about? Sorry, this is totally a change. Him and Jace, because there was like
The
comments about,
friendship.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't think it's like MM. I think,
Mm-hmm.
I think they were just willing to share. I think they were that good of
Yeah,
friends that they were willing to share. But I'm just
they were
curious.
just like
Yeah,
best friend, like romance, family kind of, and then yeah. So I
yeah,
think it like I think, and that's part of Jace. I think his heart was ripped out of his chest twice with
twice.
his best friend and his girl, and he thought that they were all in. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my Jace speech.
Do it.
Okay, so Jace. This is okay. I am Team Jace. Jace is my favorite character over Billy. I'm sorry. I love Billy. Jace is my favorite character. I relate with him the most. Okay. This man had to deal with the girl that ripped his heart out coming on with his current best friend. She broke up with him, and to his knowledge, like how is he supposed to know that she's breaking up with him to his benefit? Why
Mhm.
is he supposed to question these things? Everything that Billy holds against him, oh, he should have checked on me 3 months later or however many months later. Like, why should he have?
Yeah,
You ripped his heart out. Oh, but he should have like, he should have thought harder about it. No, when your heart's ripped out of your chest, you're not overthinking it. She said that she wanted to be with just Angel. He went to follow his dreams and, his heart was ripped out of his chest. Then she comes back into his life with his new best friend and is on the tour bus and she refuses to tell him what happened. It's not like he was super unreasonable. Those are initial reactions that might have been the kind of fiery, a little mean. However, he did try and she did not answer.
yeah.
So
He did ask.
he's
He
not,
asked a few
he
times,
did
like, talk
ask.
to me, tell me what
Yeah.
happened. She wouldn't do it. And so
Yeah.
it's like, and I understand a grudge and I understand that heartbreak. And then to see it happening all over again. So then part of me, like after you told me this, I was like,
Mhm.
I'm like proud of him to being like, okay, she can be on the bus. Cause I could see that being a
Yeah.
bigger explosion of like, hell no, like absolutely no. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And there are those moments where he shows his caring side. There's those little moments, but I think he has to remind himself that they're A, not together, and that B, she did that to him because he doesn't want his heart to get hurt. Like I feel like his pain off the page. Um, and then in this book, we get more of him. I really like him and Red in this book. I think it's a good dynamic when they're, kind of on the run or in hiding with
Yeah.
Billy. And I personally love the field scene because I really feel the passion there. It's still hate. If they don't fall into an instant, everything's better. They have this push and pull. I think they're very similar. I
Yeah.
think that's an issue too. They're stubborn. They both expect each other to read each other's minds. I think that they have like the best chemistry and passion of all of them, if you really think about it, the way they are. And she's just so, she can be very stubborn and very like, and so is he. And it's just like they just clash. I don't know. I really like their chemistry. I like them together.
They
They're my
have good
favorite pairing.
chemistry and they have to work things out. And
Yeah.
yeah. Them and the camper and stuff. And I love Rhett how he's like, I'm okay. I'm okay with this. You know, like he's like, you guys do what you
Yeah.
need to do to heal and stuff. I was like, whoa, like that's amazing that you're okay with that. Like, you know,
I think
God.
maybe he needed to lose her for a minute to see that, he
Mhm.
can't. And I think to know that they're so, like, all those Bell Rose songs were about her, then bands about her, that she's such a part, they're such a part of each other,
Mhm.
that you kind of have to accept it. Because like Grayson and Rhett in the first book were like talking about like competing and who's going to win her.
Mhm.
And I think that they have to like come around to,
Yeah.
that's not how it's going to work.
No, no, no. And I felt for Rhett though when he was like, she's pregnant, and he was like being nice to her in the kitchen, and then she saw him
Yeah,
like throw the plate, like
lose
super
it.
upset. And I just
I
felt
love
like that
Rhett.
must have been so hard for him to like be there in her presence, deal with all that. Like I can't even imagine. You know what? Like it just, yeah. And then to hear her thing, witness
Oh
her
gosh, her
with Jace
trauma.
and the trauma, but also
Oh,
like
heartbreaking.
it's really heartbreaking. But after your whole thing, it's like,
Hmm.
everyone's in that moment, like, yeah, Jace, his
Yes.
reaction, but then it's like, put yourself in his shoes. You're just
Yes.
hearing this. Like, are you gonna just all of a sudden be like, okay with it all?
No,
Like,
and that's,
so it's like,
yeah.
and is he being a little selfish? Yeah, but does he kind of
Yeah.
have the right to be right now? Yeah, because she's had, what is it, 8 years
Hmm. To
to
deal.
to deal with this. He's had
Hmm.
8 seconds to deal with it.
Yeah.
So it's like, but
And
I
that's the
do
thing.
love everyone's
Mhm.
giving him a hard time about it though. Like, dude, you're so selfish. Dude, like, like
Yeah.
you think about her, but I'm like also like, yeah, but you guys like
Exactly. And I think I like that they kind of, and like even as a reader, so I like that the authors are like, instead of doing the reader expectation, they're doing what's more realistic,
Mhm.
which is that's a more realistic, especially guy, even though like the best of guys, reaction to be like, you know, it's not gonna like instantly change in a minute. And that's good writing for it to not. But yeah, I think because I think there was so much buildup to like her finally admitting this stuff,
Mhm.
and then you expect it to be like, and it's not, which
Yeah,
again I like. It's still hard though because we still can't wait for them to finally
wait.
make up, but it makes it sweeter for when they finally work their shit out.
It does, because I'm really looking forward to that.
Hmm.
Because he does,
Me
he
too.
does have stuff to apologize for, but she does too.
Yeah, they definitely both do. And then you got to see where Angel fits into it
Angel has
because
mhm.
he's back on the scene and he broke Jace's heart too.
Broke his heart.
Like,
He's been a player though. Like we know he's been around. He's had his hand
hmm,
in some of Jace's things behind the scenes.
yeah, yeah, with the manager, what's up with that?
Yeah. I don't think him and the manager have been romantic, but I think they've been working
No, I don't think
on stuff. And so it's just very
so. Hmm.
I'm excited to find out all that he's done. And I think that might help maybe that healing process with Jace if he
Hmm.
finds out like, but maybe not. Maybe he'll get really pissed off that like it wasn't all him making himself successful if Angel.
Oh, if he had like a hand in it or something, that would be interesting. And then I've seen a lot of people theorize it's called Boys of Belrose. So they're like, is Angel going to join the band? Because he used to be in the band and he plays a musical instrument. And it's like, well, how would that happen? And then people are like, well, Flo. And I'm like, maybe. Oh, and we didn't talk about Flo. Okay, they seem okay. I don't understand. These characters are really mourning her death, and I'm like, I thought we didn't like Flo. I'm like, so are we just gonna forget the betrayal here?
But I think Rhett said something about how he was hurt by her, but he
Oh
felt
yeah,
sorry for her situation at one point or something. And then when she passed away, he felt bad that they never got a chance to make up. So I
yeah.
think that was the the sibling part, but when people die,
That's
it's
true.
like everyone's always like
They gloss over.
they gloss over the thing.
Yeah.
I love how Billy, like, I don't know if I don't remember if it was she forgave her, but like right before Flo got offed. Like, remember they had a confrontation
They
and then
had, yeah,
something to her that was like, "It's okay, I understand, I forgive you," or something. And then
yeah.
she dies.
And I didn't see that coming. I
I did
wasn't
not see
expecting
that
them to
coming.
off
Oh, I was
Flo.
like, "Oh, whoa."
It's like, yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but it begs questions like, is Flo connected? Why are they trying to kill them? Like, is it more than the alleged baby heir? Like, what's going on? Is how connected is Tom? There's a lot of like, what's going on here?
Well, and
What are the motivations?
what's the other mob that's, like, coming in that everyone's upset?
Wilson?
Wilson. I'm like,
Wilson?
"Millers?"
Yeah.
Wilson.
Well,
Yeah, so, like,
and the
is she
thing,
connected to that or
hmm
Tom being, like, a puppet on that one?
and then their Angel was killing like Wilson executives at that record company. So I feel like I get it. Like there was a reason for his dad to like buy that record company. So that makes me think like, was Tom connected to the Wilsons? If there was like if he got the job, like there's definitely something else going on, especially with the bombing at the end and Tom and the Flo's estate. And then you've got Dirty Truth. You've got the blog that knows so much, and you instantly think, well, it's got to be Tom. But is it Tom? Like, it could be like,
But, like, who could it
I don't know,
know what they know, though? That's my thing,
the
like,
band, maybe the manager, the band manager. I was like, could it be her?
but
I
did she
mean, that would
as
be.
much? She wasn't really around.
No, she wasn't.
I was
Unless
thinking it was Flo
multi.
at one point.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was
hmm
just her still doing it.
But
I don't
that
know.
got.
That's one thing that I can't figure out. I cannot figure that one out yet.
It could be like in. Well, I won't say what it is because that could be a spoiler for somebody. But it could be where it's just an unknown entity at this point to us.
Yeah.
But I mean, it does seem like the most likely candidate would be Tom,
It
like,
does.
or maybe like a group, like Tom involved in whatever he's involved in.
Right. Well, we have 2 books. We have 2 books
Yes.
left to find out. And also I feel like there's gonna be a lot more. So, like, we have Angel, what happened to Angel at the end of this, and then
Mm-hmm.
how we're gonna fix whatever's going on with Angel. But then also we have, Grayson. Like, we
Yes.
have he started stuff looking for her. He brought himself back
Mm-hmm.
on the map in that world for him. So I what's gonna come knocking on the door now with that? I really hope it doesn't go too much mobbish and we get more of them on tour or
Mm-hmm.
back. I liked the songwriting. I liked them as a band. So I hope we still get that band stuff with them because they are rock stars and I want that. But Grayson, I just love him. I love how when like he showed up in the woods and she just ran towards him and he was just like, I'm taking her. I'm really bummed they didn't get that time together. But I also love that he got time with Angel and that like
Yeah.
hung out. They killed people together. And then and like I love how like Angel shows up, at the house and she's like, it's like he's been here before. And then Valentina gets hurt and like she helps take care
Mhm.
of her and that's gonna earn points in Angel's book too. Like it's just
Yeah.
that stuff was like really good and I love that Grayson can't figure out Angel still. So that really tells
Yeah.
you that Angel's really good at hiding all of
His
his
ev-
emotions and everything. But I love
yeah.
Grayson so much right now.
Me too. I'm really into. He's a very intriguing character because he brings both. He brings the rock star. He brings the mafia, and you want to know more about his past and
He's
what,
very
like,
dominant alpha too. Like
yeah.
I love
He just
I'm over
I
here just
he's
swooning,
so
you
good.
guys.
I know. He's a great character. He really is.
Oh my goodness.
See,
Okay.
that's the thing. They've got really just like four really great, interesting characters. I mean, and especially with like I want to say like Rhett because like I don't always like that the guy that's always the nice one or is like a little more insta lovey, but like I do with Rhett. Like he is a good like I really love him. I think he's really well done. Um, but of course, Jace is my favorite. But I love Grace. That's the thing.
See, that's
That's when it's a good reverse harem when you love them all.
You love them all, and you go, wait, but. I do that all the time. Like, you
But
see those things in group messages, like, which one's your favorite? And you're like, oh, I like so and so. And they're like, but I like so and so, and I like so and so. But it's just like the order, like, who's top guy? And I feel
yeah.
like Grayson's like always like the top for me, and then
Okay.
the bottom three. I
Like,
don't know. I had high hopes for Angel, but I'm still.
hmm
I'm like, I want to find out what happens with them because we know he might be hurt, but he's not dead. So.
yeah. Like we just assume that at this point. I mean, so and people get so bad. I'm like, oh, this wasn't a bad cliffhanger. Like that's not like it's no, he's not dead.
Yeah.
We don't believe that
But I
characters
really want them to
die.
figure out who's setting them up. And that was the other thing.
Yes.
Like with that whole thing, I'm like, guys, you go to the funeral. Like I could tell it was a setup. I was like, and they could tell. They searched the building, but not good enough, you know? And I was like,
Yeah.
like, don't go to the meeting. You need to go to like the grave site. Like this is what you need to do. Like, oh my gosh.
No, it's because it's true.
And
It's
even the
true.
Valentina like goes there to try to save
I
them.
know, like half half
Yeah.
conscious. That's a badass
Mm-hmm.
woman right there.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see what happened with her. Yep. Well, I'm excited for the next book. I love that it's, we don't have long to wait now.
You don't have long. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thanks for listening.
See you for the next one.